This is 10 Eyewitness News with Anne Fulwood.
The Greens support the federal government by voting no to a Mabo committee.
Our decision is not seen in any way as an endorsement of the legislation in its present form.
A surprising report on racism in our society. And for sale, Russian space items to be auctioned in New York. Good evening. The federal government's Mabo bill has passed one of its biggest hurdles thanks to the WA Greens. They helped defeat an opposition move to delay debate of the bill in the Senate next week.
Tonight, the government's native title legislation hangs in the balance, but its future will be decided in the Senate next week. Predictably, no sooner had a Senate Standing Committee report on Mabo been tabled today, the opposition moved to refer the bill to a select committee, effectively deferring its passage till next year.
That with such important legislation, the government must get it right the first time. There's just no excuse for fiddling around with this now and fixing it up later.
But the government maintains any delay could threaten Mabo's fragile consensus of support and subject the nation to months of divisive debate.
There's a lot of people out there welcome every conceivable opportunity to belt the racist drum and to say exactly what they think about the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of this country.
A line supported by the Democrats, although they've recommended 35 amendments.
Delay or obstruction simply opens the way for this historic opportunity to slip through our fingers. Frankly, I don't believe it'll ever come again.
Although unhappy with the Mabo bill, the opposition and the West Australian Greens senators simply didn't have the numbers to defeat it today. Next week, though, it could be a different story.
Our decision is not seen in any way as an endorsement of the legislation in its present form, and that there is no question that if it remains as it is, with the loopholes that it has, then it will not have our support.
Sean Murphy, 10 News.
To the economy, and there was a slight dent in the unemployment figure last month. More jobs were created during November, but unemployment still remains just over 11%. The focus is now on the government's Special Jobs Task Force, due to report next week.
Adrian McMillan is one of the 22,500 who found new jobs last month. In fact, his employer, Paul Colley, hired 10 more salespeople in November.
Things have really moved along. We only come up here with about 5 or 6 guys, and we've just grown to 26 we have on the books right now.
But that still leaves 978,400 looking for work, down 0.1% for a slightly improved rate of 11.1%.
We're really just standing still. It's like a leaky boat. Mr. Beasley's bailing out the water, but as fast as he bails it out, water comes in.
Unemployment fell in 4 states, with New South Wales showing the biggest drop of 0.5%. Queensland went in the other direction, as did WA. But on 9.3%, the West still has the lowest rate.
But I do think that there is an understanding now in this community, like there hasn't been for a very considerable time, that unemployment is capable of touching everyone.
Mr. Beasley says while the Cabinet isn't committed to a jobs levy, people are expecting the government to come up with much more to solve the problem. The recovery's slow arrival is making the unemployment crisis that much harder to beat. Ironically, it's encouraging a higher participation rate, with a record number of women, almost 53%, in the market for jobs. Paul Bongiorno, 10 News.